Jrue, just kind of what did it mean for you tonight to have that pairing going with Brook? It felt like Brook was just kind of everywhere there in that first half. Just what did you see from him tonight? I know a number of times you told me, man, like he's underrated and people don't realize, but just what did you see from him tonight?
Came through big. Came through big in times when we had momentum and it kind of seemed like they scored a point or two, but he came through with big blocks, protecting my back. Trae's a great young player in this league, and he's hard to guard. So me getting beat, Brook is always there to protect my back and everybody's back. So he did a great job, and then he shot the ball well tonight, rebounded well. That was kind of a point of emphasis for us, and he had a great game.
Just what did you think from your perspective of what you're able to do better against Trae tonight?
I think just mix it up, make it difficult for him, not get too many easy looks. Last game, he was living in the paint, had a lot of floaters. Those were pretty much layups for him, so we didn't really want that to get him started early. And then I don't think he went to the free throw line much tonight, which is also pretty big for us.
For you, just what did you see on that leak out? I know he holds his follow through when he ends up taking those from you. Is that something you and the coaches have talked about, or was that just something that you said, hey guys, like we can get that if I go?
Pretty much we can get it. First we have to secure the rebound, so that's probably up to the bigs here to grab that. But at that point, Trae is holding his follow through, and those misses, especially long shots, sometimes they can be long. So I can't leak out every time, but a couple of those we made some good plays.
Yeah, I guess. For lack of a better word, it sounded like you were just annoyed. I guess the post game, the other day at practice, with just how it went in game one. Was that kind of the feel to a degree? Because when you talk about like rebounding and defensive effort, some of those things, it feels like a controllable on your guys' part. Was I reading that right? That maybe after that first game, no disrespect to Atlanta, but it was like you guys maybe felt you left some stuff out there.
We did.
Yeah.
We definitely felt like there were things that we could have done better. Obviously, going back and looking at film, there were a lot of mistakes that could have been corrected, or like you said, were in our control. So that was something that we felt like was a key point of emphasis, especially for this game. And again, we know what kind of team they are. They play fast. They have a lot of weapons. But at the same time, if they're missing, there's going to be long rebounds. John Collins and Capella out there rebounding gave them a boost, and we felt like we take care of that. We have a pretty good chance of winning.
So, Bart, Drew, a couple questions. The first one is, do you feel like you have to be a scorer in this series?
Yeah. I think that especially playing with Giannis, him setting the screen and roll, they worry about him so much. So kind of when I get downhill, I have to make a decision. And for the most part, they're always going to build back to Giannis because of how effective he is in the paint. So I do feel like I have to score.
And then I don't know if you've been asked this on an off day since it came out, but committing to Team USA like you did in the middle of this intense playoff run, and you might make the finals, and that could go on. Like, how hard of a decision was that for you? And was it hard to have to move your focus, at least for a minute, away from the playoffs to think about that?
I don't think I had to move my focus. I think it's an honor to play for your country, especially an opportunity like this to be able to go out there and have USA on your chest. Also, my wife has 2 gold medals. I've experienced it from a fan standpoint, and I thought it'd be cool to experience it from actually playing. But I think I'm always focused on this immediate, what's happening right now has been my main focus, and it's going to continue to be that. And if we end up going to the finals or whatever happens, up until that point, this is what matters.
Yeah, feel good. Jrue, I know you mentioned or addressed your defense against Trae, but how was the team defense different tonight compared to game one?
It was great. It was a group effort. I think we all tried to help each other. We tried to kind of clog up the paint as well as take away threes. And then on top of that, multiple rebounds. 2 guys on Capella, fighting Collins, really just being able to find bodies and hit them and kind of space them out and go from there. But defensively, I think we did a a very good job of playing for each other, which again, with a team with so many shooters and scorers, that's going to be huge.
Malika Andrews.
Hey, Jrue, after last game, you were talking about physicality and how you thought you could potentially be more physical with Trae, but it's also a balance defensively because he is a smaller guard. Can you just assess how that was for you tonight and maybe what was different there specifically with the physicality?
Yeah, I think I played smarter tonight. I played smarter than I did last game. There are times where I need him to, or I need to be physical with him, and there's other times where I want him to think I'm gonna be physical and am I going to a screen, or I know he does the thing where if you come off and he jumps back into you, just certain things like that, playing that game. But I think I was definitely smarter tonight, smarter than
For you, tonight you were 2 of 7 from 3, 6 of 13 overall, and you shot last game. Do you feel like you're working through something right now offensively with the ball in your hands?
no. Simple as that now. It's gonna make some, gonna miss some. Sometimes more than the others at some nights. But just keep playing my game. Continue to trust it. Whether it's the shot, whether it's the pass, whether it's the drive. Yeah.
Steve, Trae was saying just now that he thought y'all were wasn't necessarily a schematic change, but y'all were just a lot more aggressive on defense tonight. How much of an emphasis was that? And how do you feel y'all that kind of paid off? Do you feel you were a lot more aggressive?
Yeah, that was a huge key from game 1 to game 2. Game 1, they were able to get wherever they want on the court. Trae was getting in the paint, folders, lobs, and then getting everybody else involved. So tonight we wanted to set the tone, just make sure they weren't going to be comfortable. We wanted to be physical with them, do it without fouling the course. That was just the main message tonight. It's just the aggressiveness that we didn't have from game 1 needs to be here game 2.
Eric?
For you, have you gotten a chance to go against Brook when he does when he's in the drop, like in a practice or a scrimmage, and he's maybe coming at you, maybe dropping back? Have you gotten a chance to go against that?
Yeah, for sure. I hate it. People don't realize how massive that guy is. I mean, he's a 7-footer, but you feel him around when he's around the rim on the court, even when he's on the perimeter sometimes. I mean, I don't think people realize how big he is, how athletic he is, how much ground he can cover, and he's athletic. So that's why I love it when he's on our side during games and not in practice and whatnot.
With him doing so much, how did it kind of feel for you guys to be able to help him? He said, you guys in the driving lane, helped out. What is kind of your mindset of being able to help him?
We told him we want him to be aggressive. So when him being aggressive, we have to have his back. We have to try to make life as easy as it can for him because his job is hard. He's got to cover so many mistakes. He's got to be able to guard the pick and roll. And then somebody drives, he's got to have our back. So at the same time, we got to have his, and knowing that, we maybe show a crowd a little bit more, stun at the ball a little bit more also. It makes his job a lot easier to retreat and get back to the rim to his normal spot.
Forgive me, I don't know exactly where you were on the floor, but did you get a chance to see Giannis' spin move with the
Yeah, I was up top. I ain't never seen that from him, even in the one-on-one days that we play. He saved it for the right time. That's a hell of a move. It's got to be top 10 of all time.
Jimmo, and then we'll go to Malika.
Khris, just from a shooter's perspective, I know you can't speak for Bryn, Pat, or Bobby, but when the shots finally go in, right? I mean, those guys have had some struggles here. What does that mean in that moment, and then now even spin it forward the next time they're out there, because it's been a bit.
Yeah, no, it definitely feels good. When you see 1 or 2 go in, gives you that confidence to fire the next one without really hesitating and thinking. But we definitely gonna need those guys. They're both great shooters. They're both great players. The more they hit shots, the more they take shots, it's gonna open things up for everybody else. So we need them to stay aggressive.
Mike says, or Bud said that you guys don't really talk about turnovers or forcing turnovers. It's just sort of a result of things. But tonight, I mean, there was over a dozen in the first half that led to 20+ points. So did you guys notice something going in that you're like, we can take advantage of this, or was it just seeing and being more active?
No, it wasn't, talking point to create more turnovers. Just we want to put pressure on them, be aggressive. Those end up being turnovers, getting steals, getting down the passing lanes, making them make bad decisions with the ball, basically. That's what we were trying to do, just being aggressive with our pressure.
Joe Gordon.
I asked Drew the same thing, but I know for you, it's a little different because you were on the China team in 19. But committing to Team USA while you're still in the playoffs and you very well could end up in the finals, how hard was that for you to have to think about something like that and committing to something like that while you're also in the middle of something so serious like a playoff?
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, like you said, we're in the middle of a championship run. But to, take a second to think about something outside of this season, I'm not gonna lie, it was a little tough to think about it, but it was an easy decision for me to go ahead and commit. Everybody wants to be an Olympian. Everybody wants a chance to win a gold medal. So far as the choice, it was easy, but trying to distract myself from that was a little bit challenging. But to get refocused and focus on the task at hand right now is the most important thing I need to do.
Malik Andrews.
Khris, Jrue said he felt like overall he just played smarter tonight when he was defending Trae. I'm wondering, when he's balancing being physical but playing smart, how does that kind of set the tone for the rest of the team's defense and elevate you all?
It gives us the confidence to do the same. You see him working hard. We see him pressuring Trae Young, who's so good at, drawing fouls and whatnot. It just gives us the confidence to go ahead and do the same, not say he's going to put in all this hard work and it's going to be easy for somebody else. We see him pressuring, so it tells everybody else we have to be up with him. We have to be there talking for him. We have to have his back.
Quickly, at the start of the game, I know PJ, it's one of those not on the stat sheet type of things, but I felt that it looked like he set an early tone that matched what you guys maybe wanted to do with some of the offensive boards, some of the turnovers. Can you speak a little bit about his impact early in this game?
Yeah, I mean, that's how he's been changing things since he got here. And he did such a great job of that tonight. And he really, I think, just gave us energy from the get-go. And it just kept going. Everyone fed off that, and we rode it for a full 48 minutes.
I'm guessing that's a lot what Bud meant earlier with activity, right? And I guess when you're watching that, is it just hands? Is it anticipating passing lanes? Like, what do you think PJ was maybe seeing early, or you guys were seeing early?
Yeah. Just making them a little less comfortable. Getting them out of their comfort zone, being in passing lanes, like you said, driving lanes, having hands up. All of us communicating, talking with one another, and kind of being on a string and having that connection, and just being a bit more of the aggressor, both on offense and on defense.
At the beginning of the second half, there was a shot clock violation for Trae Young, and you were mainly guarding him alone on that one. Can you take me through being out kind of on an island on your own trying to guard him?
I just wanted to make things difficult for him. I tried to, have hands like you said, and knowing that I had 4 guys behind me is just so big. So we're all out there just trying to make things as difficult as possible, as tough as possible for their team.
Eric?
Hey, Brook.
Yeah.
For you, Bud had talked about how what you do when you're stunting, juking, whatever you want to call it, is just Brook. Like, there's not a name for you that you guys have for it. It's just letting you be you. How freeing was that tonight, and just how good did it feel to get the chance to be more aggressive and maybe play passing lane or
obviously game 1 gave us they played really well, and it kind of gave us a feel for what they were going to do in person. But again, I just have to continue saying it just helped. It helped knowing that the help was back there, and that was something that we went through and shoot around and went through and film. Just knowing that the V-back or whoever's going to be there with Capella or Collins, and that frees up myself or Bobby or whoever in the pick and roll to be a bit more aggressive, be up and mess with whoever's coming down trying to make a play.
Do you find it fun? Like that game, like that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. It's all about activity, and that's definitely a point in the game where I can try to have an impact, be someone who can make a difference in the game, and I definitely enjoy that.
The help guys, I know you guys brought the help a little bit higher in that dribble kind of zone for Trae. What kind of impact do you feel like that had in making him feel less comfortable?
It's huge, he just sees more bodies, sees more hands, and he's not getting downhill like he did in game 1, where he's really in his comfort zone. He can get to his floater, which is so similar to his lob. and, you know, then see guys on the perimeter as well. It's night and day.